Today we're going to talk about Starfield and how players are dropping like flies. And then we're going to talk about Kotaku and their BS. And then we're going to talk about something I don't see anybody talk about. What positions? You might be asking yourself, what positions were laid off at Blizzard? We're going to find that out, or potentially find that out. It's all speculation, but a good private investigator knows how to find out. And at the very end, we're going to do fireside chat with me, Method, and you're going to hear my opinions. Starfield has lost 97% of its Steam players in less than 6 months. In the 6 months since its launch, Starfield, Bethesda's long-awaited space RPG, has seen its Steam player count drop by over 300,000. Starfield was supposed to be Bethesda's next big thing, on a par with The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, but it was released to a decidedly mixed reception, and in the 5 months since it launched, it's lost over 97% of its Steam player base. As game launches go, Starfield was not the stellar success that Bethesda and parent company Microsoft probably hoped for. This space-based action RPG may have been Bethesda's biggest launch, but less than 6 months later, it's lost 97% of its Steam player base. After peaking at 330,273 concurrent Steam players shortly after launch, Starfield is now down to just under 9,000. Sources, Steam database, SteamDB. By contrast, over 25,000 Steam players are currently playing The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So, we don't need to read the rest, right? We already know this from not playing the game. But take a look at this. 6 months on, Starfield's player count shouldn't matter. Single-player games shouldn't be treated like their live service counterparts, says Willow Rowe from Kotaku. All right, skippity-doo that. That's just them going on about how great and fantastic the game is. We don't know jack shit. According to howlongtobeat.com, it typically takes players about 66 hours to beat Starfield. If you are a completionist, it will take you closer to 150 hours. 6 months has an exponential amount more hours in it than 150. Most players will have reached the end of their adventure with Starfield by now, hence the drop-off in player numbers. That doesn't make Starfield a failed game, no. For context, Elden Ring has less than 5% of its peak player base 6 months after release. It still went on to win almost every Game of the Year award under the sun and is still lauded as one of the best games in recent memory. This trend is typical of nearly every single player game. We need to stop judging single player experiences by a metric that's not meant for them. Let me know in the comments what you think about that, folks. Next, we're going to start from the top, and we're going to move all the way down. And some of the clues and indications that let us know what potential jobs were cut is by the openings, obviously, but also how far back did the opening open? All right. So I'm not going to look it up. You can look it up yourself, but I estimate about 2 to 3 weeks ago is when the layoffs occurred. All right. So this doesn't necessarily mean, all right, I'm putting this disclaimer. It doesn't mean that these are the positions they got let go, but one can speculate. So let's speculate. Global PR director. Holy shit. That's an important role for Diablo. Global PR. Why was there not a global PR position? What? And if there was, they got let go? Why? Game producer for live operations for World of Warcraft. Why wasn't there a producer? Or why did a producer get let go? Why? A senior game producer. Okay. All right, well, this is specific to Diablo 4. Senior game producer, Diablo 4, 2 weeks ago. Now, this is getting closer to the layoff time period. A product manager for World of Warcraft. Folks, if you don't know this, product managers are essentially producers. However, product managers are all about the nitty and gritty of what needs to get done when a game gets updated, when a game gets promoted by the marketing team, and it needs to function correctly in front of thousands of viewers, like, oh, I don't know, the Game Show Awards. So product managers are there to work with all teams involved in making a live service game like World of Warcraft going, right? They're the backbone of a live service. So why wouldn't World of Warcraft not have a product manager? Position opened up yesterday. Character concept artists. Outsource, please. Outsource for World of Warcraft. Yikes. I think that's one of the artists that they dropped. Senior game producer for the features in Overwatch 2. A game designer for Diablo Immortal. Don't you all have cell phones? Senior product marketing manager. Holy shit. Why do they not have a senior product marketing manager? 2 weeks ago. Global PR director again, please. Oh, for different counties in California. Okay. I thought one rules them all, but I guess not. I mean, they got a lot of activations, I guess. You know, when they have their BlizzCon, which is in Irvine, if I'm not mistaken. In Orange County, that would be for, well, it's not E3 anymore because E3 got canceled completely. I think they have the Game Show Awards and a few other activations out here in Los Angeles. Director, branding strategy. Brand strategy for Overwatch. Why? It's just one position. I don't know why they need another one. Associate game director. Oh, okay. Let me give you a little inside information here. Associate in anything not just means beginner level. It means additional help. Additional help required. We just lost some folks. Red alert, red alert. Hire some more people. We can't hire temps anymore. We need somebody with a little bit of experience. But entry level, associate. Wow. Game director can't do it himself. For Overwatch 2 of all games. Yeah. I mean, let's look at the rate that a new Overwatch hero comes out, right? Between one release and the next. Give it about 2 months lead time between one design and the next. Pretty sure you don't need an associate for that. Just throwing it out there. I don't know. Senior game producer, level 2. Level 2. What? They go by levels for World of Warcraft. Oh my goodness, 4 days ago. A senior animator, a temp senior animator. SVD. Cinematics. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. So they don't always they don't do cinematics left and right. They only do cinematics for releases. This is a preview, I think, of a new game coming out, which a lot of people were speculating was supposed to be the game that Overwatch was born from, which was the futuristic MMO called Titan, I believe. It was codename Titan. And they dropped that, and instead they used the same resources that they had for a prototype of that and made Overwatch 1. So I'm guessing that there's a new game coming. Senior product manager, again, oh, another one. World of Warcraft. Senior outsource supervisor characters. Outsource. Oof. Outsource. Ouch. I think that means they're cutting costs on the artists. Department operations manager. Art. Diablo franchise. Grooming artist. Temp. Grooming artist. Senior product manager, Warcraft Rumble. I think that's a mobile game, if I'm not mistaken. Lead game designer for Diablo 4. More DLCs coming. Rumor has it that they're still kind of a little iffy on the monetization. Senior game producer, art cosmetics. Oh, for monetization purposes. Compositor, 3D generalist, a temp position. Once again, cinematics crew is pumping out cinematics for a reason. Senior lead. Okay, so here, get this. All right, I'm going to step. Let's take a step back for a second. This is something I know. Not that I know much. When there's temps, sometimes it could imply that there were people that were let go that had multiple hats, right? So say, for example, one of these positions was about art, character artist or whatever, right? That was the person that got let go, right? Character artist for Overwatch, for example. He or she or they were let go, but they were also doing some artwork for the cinematics team. But now he's gone. He, she, they, it, them are gone. And we have no one to fill in. So let's get a temp to finish the job. Because once that job is finished, we don't need him anymore. That's what I think about that. Man, look how many senior positions required and how many producers required. Overwatch, cosmetics, World of Warcraft. Wow. 4 pages. My goodness, I wasn't ready for this. UI designer. Director of product management. Holy crap. I was just talking about the product managers, and now they want a head honcho. Why are they letting go of their product managers? That is the backbone of everything live game service. A senior world artist for Boston, World of Warcraft. I didn't know they had a studio in Boston. Interesting. Interesting. I thought they were only in Irvine. No, Boston. We got a studio in Boston now. If you guys didn't know, work out of Boston. Lighting, compositing artist, temp. Another one for cinematics crew because they need to finish the job from the person that they got let go. Senior concept artists, outsource, World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft just needs so much help. That gives you a clue which departments got let go. Senior user acquisition, a specialist. All right, so user acquisition, folks, means people that come to the game, right? You acquire the people, the customers, and they're paid players, hopefully, right? So you need to acquire them, users, and we need a specialist, someone who knows how to bring them in. What ways can we bring in customers and get them to pay for shit? Outsource supervisor, environments, World of Warcraft, cinematics, there it is. A temp 4 days ago for art. FX artists, they are going to come out with something really nice soon. Administrative assistant, Hearthstone. Another one, Hearthstone. What? 2 admins for Hearthstone of all games. Why? I don't understand this. Oh, because it's Orange County, their other studio. Interesting. Senior class designer, Diablo 4. A senior class designer. That sounds like DLC if it's still for Diablo 4. Another class designer. Lead world builder for Irvine's World of Warcraft. Senior game designer for activity. I'm guessing things to do in Diablo 4 besides the main quest and any quest. What other things can you do? Activity. Hey, design that shit. You can, I don't know. What is that thing called? Transmutation? Did. Rocks. Overwatch has been gone shitty since part 2 came out. Shots fired. But seriously, when that game first came out, you can watch my video. I freaking bashed the hell out of it. I was like, dude, what the hell is this crap? And I knew it. The moment the company merged with King, all right, the mobile company who makes Candy Crush, it's all downhill from there. If you guys don't know, okay, the mobile companies of the world started the whole bullshit with battle passes. It began there. Loot boxes, you name it. It began in the mobile sector. And since then, PC market, excuse me, console market, bringing those folks over. Bringing over that BS for us to suffer through. Ugh. I always state it. More quest designers, more world designers, more visual effects artists, more world concept artists. My goodness, it goes on and on and on. I'm trying to find something unique here that can give us a clue about this new game. But so far, it's just, we need a bunch of artists. God damn it. Why did they let them all go? What a shame. Look how many artist positions are there. 1 engineer. Test analyst. A principal engineer. Game services access. Software engineer. Tools for Diablo. My goodness. Software engineer, lead software engineer, senior data scientist. A scientist? Whoa, hey. Let me see this. Did I see that correctly? No, I didn't see that. I thought I saw the word scientist. Oh, there it is. Senior data scientist. Wow. That's the first scientist role I've ever seen in the game industry world. Interesting. Senior storage systems engineer. Oh boy, that's a whole lot of fun. Ooh, look how much money you'd make though. Ooh. A senior software engineer. Interesting. Interesting, folks. Well. That wraps it up for today's news. We're now going to jump into the fireside chat where I tell you my opinions on this whole thing. All right, so now it's time for fireside chat sesh, as I say. First and foremost, I want to talk about the layout of these videos. I've been seeing some complaints from my non-subscribers. Thousands of you who don't subscribe. Of you, 5 people leave a comment. Nasty comments, all right? But it is what it is. It's the internet of things. And some of y'all don't like the way I present my news, you know? So I toned it down this time, okay? But I decided to reserve my real self to the very end. And so for those who come to the very end, for the real deal, thank you very much. I appreciate it, all right? I appreciate your love and support. Keeps me going. So my impressions, first things first. First things first. The loss of players. We knew that since the beginning of time, all right? Day in and day out, anytime a game comes out with a sequel, it comes out looking horribly or comes out just being horribly, or half the features are not even there, and there are experimental bullshit features a la, I don't know, Far Cry. Far Cry sometimes has that, but not too much. Fallout. I was going to say Fallout. Fallout, all right? So Fallout, every iteration of Fallout, they're always taking a step forward and sometimes a couple steps back, right? Case in point, right? I don't know. Fallout 76, right? They took a big giant leap forward in trying to make it, you know, what it is, a massive multiplayer RPG experience. But then it took a lot of steps back, right? One big universal world map kind of deal, because that's what an MMO is supposed to do. But then there was a problem where it's like, okay, what's the end game here? The end game is the legendary weapons. Weapons. Fallout is all about weapons sometimes, right? Not all the time, right? It's exploration, lore, what else? Fill in the gaps. But then when they don't really invest it into a very solo experience, as most players know Fallout to be a solo experience, then you see, I think, where the trouble lies. Right? We knew at 76 was supposed to be multiplayer, very big in nature, and you need a lot of help. Meet up with a bunch of strangers online, and you fight the Scorched Beast Queen to grind the endgame content. That's been true to, true to every single update for that. Scorched Beast Queen, let's go. Scorched Beast Queen, let's go. Scorched Beast Queen, let's go. Drop a nuke. Isn't it fun? No, it's not. Not anymore. Because I always have to drop it on the Queen. Always have to drop it on the Queen. This is taking 5,000 steps back in game design. What else is there to do in a massive multiplayer online RPG? Well, take a couple pages out of design book for, I don't know, games like Guild Wars. They don't have the box here. I used to have the box right here. Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars, all right? There are big bosses that you go grind, right? But it's a lot of it is very kind of like instance-based, and it feels inviting. You feel like you want to go and partake in this epic boss raid with the appropriate level of players near you. Not so max level prick who shows off all of his armor and shit and just kills the thing in 2 seconds. And like, you don't get, I think like you don't get benefit of it if you don't shoot the queen or something. Like it defeats the purpose of the experience, if you ask me. And then you got like 300 level, max level or beyond, right? And you're a new player and you jump into that, they do everything for you. Get out of here. Anyways, end gripe on that. Case in point, every iteration of a game, as soon as they come out, you see the de-evolution, right? Instead of evolving, right, to try something new, right, something long-lasting, it's like, no, forget it. And a lot of it has to do, I think, with the market. So, for example, and I said this in my previous live stream, Team Fortress had a brilliant design plan. Team Fortress 2, by the way, called Brotherhood at Arms, I believe. That had a really nice design for what Team Fortress was supposed to head towards. A more realistic military aesthetic than what was presented for Team Fortress Classic. And before that, where it all began, Team Fortress for Quake 1. And it was a brilliant direction. There were some concept videos you can find on YouTube that they presented at probably not E3, at some other developer convention back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And to give an example, the spy, for example, you know, he can change into the enemy's outfits, right? But the spy, before this video, could never do things like this. And in the video, you see the spy strangle the enemy, pull him into the back corner of an alley, and then they cut it. They didn't show anything else. So, but they eluded, though. You have to do all that to take the enemy's outfit off and put it onto you. So then you become an imposter. What? You see what I'm saying? Case in point, you have a lot of ideas that could be potential for a new blockbuster hit for video games. But unfortunately, they fall short because you have investors in big corporations that really just want to pump out games and products, right? Because consumers need the next best thing. And instead of investing in research and development, it's rinse and repeat with any other sector. In this case, the mobile division. Let's throw it onto the PC market, throw it onto the console market, let it fly, let it stick. That's what developers want to do. Well, not developers, sorry, investors. And then they put that on the developers and the pressure. And then they're, you know, what do you call it? The reputation is on the line. Because players like you and me end up blaming the development company, right? Which is not the case. It's the investors. Rinse and repeat, same bullshit. You know, movies, right? Cinematic universe for Marvel. Same example. I don't need to talk about Kotaku because it's bullshit. Nobody goes to Kotaku. And then Blizzard's layoffs. It's not just Blizzard, a bunch of other companies as well too. It's just a big shame that it's a big shift, but it's understandable, right? During COVID season, I guess you can call it a season 1 of COVID. You know, they hired a lot of people because a lot of people were playing games at that time. So, all right. Well, that wraps it up for today's show. If you like what you saw here, be sure to hit that like and subscribe. And according to YouTube, this video you definitely might want to see. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.